What is up, everybody? I am on my way to work today. So today is March 1st. So today starts a brand new bid for us at work. So we'll either do 1 month bid or 2 month bids for our schedule on the ground. And since I pretty much started, I've been midday shifts. Well, on this March bid, I was awarded PM bid, which was not my first pick. My shift is 5:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. with the possibility of being extended 2 hours either in or out. So if it's busy and they need me before my start time, they can bring me in 2 hours before. Or if we have delayed flights in the evening, they can keep me up to 2 hours past my out time. So today is the very first day of this new bid schedule. Feels really weird because I had all day to kind of do nothing because I can't really make plans or go do anything time consuming because I always have to make sure that I'm home to be able to get ready and get to work on time by 5:30. We're gonna make the most of it. It's only a 1 month bid. If I'm not mistaken, next month for April and May, it's a 2 month bid, which means I'll bid one time and keep the same schedule for 2 whole months. But that bid hasn't come out yet, so I'm not sure how that's gonna go yet, but I will let you know once that does happen. So yeah, I'm just arriving to airport property now. So I'm going to get to the employee lot, hop on the shuttle, and head into the terminal. It has been a long night tonight. My last flight just pushed off. It was a San Diego flight. So this week is a little bit slower than what it's going to be for the rest of the month. So starting next week, we're gonna start having spring break and South by Southwest travels. So we're gonna have later departures. So our last departure tonight, I think, was like 9:30. But starting next week, our latest departure is gonna be like 11 p.m. So even though it felt slow, it won't feel slow for very long. So let's get this workday finished up. And I'm off. It is now 11:45-ish. I got off at 11:30. So I got on the shuttle, came to the employee parking lot. So now it's about 11:45. I'm going to go home. It is my Friday today, even though it's Sunday. It's my Friday. So I'm going to enjoy the next 2 days off. So my shift wasn't so bad. So what happened is I was scheduled to work a gate today, but I didn't have a flight at my gate for like the first 2 hours of my shift. So I worked the ticketing counter for the first 2 hours. And then I ended up working 3 flights out of 2 different gates tonight. So I worked 2 flights out of 1 gate. And then, well, I guess I worked like 3.5 flights today. So I worked 2 flights out of my scheduled gate. And then I closed up 1 flight for someone who was getting off, and then worked another flight at that gate. The flights weren't too full tonight. I mean, it is just the beginning of March. Over the next week and a half, though, things are going to change significantly. We have spring break coming up. Here in Austin, we have South by Southwest that lasts for almost a 2 full week period. So it's going to get crazy. So the last flight left off of the ground, I don't know, about 10:30. Our last flight tonight was to El Paso. It left off the ground on time. So everything was out on time tonight, so that was a good thing. It was kind of a perfect scenario shift, which is probably why I'm out on time, because everything was perfect scenario. So, but like I said, it's going to get kind of crazy over the next couple weeks with spring break and South by Southwest happening. If any of you guys are coming to South by Southwest, let us know. We usually try to do a couple things here and there during South by. I mean, we have it here every single year, so we don't ever like buy wristbands for the entire event. It's just not worth it for us. But we do go kind of pick and choose what we do for South by. Or if you've ever been, let us know as well. Or if you have any questions about it, let us know, because we can kind of give some recommendations on what to do and see while you're here at South by. But anyway, it is time to head home, relax, and sleep in tomorrow. Good afternoon. So today is March 20th, and I am heading into work. So since the last time I recorded, things have obviously changed the airline industry as far as the coronavirus goes. So I'm still on my PM shift that I was awarded for the month of March. So it's 4:30 now. I have to clock in by 5:30. So I'm heading to the airport now. But yeah, a lot of stuff has changed. Our flight loads are super light. So as of today, we haven't altered any of our flight schedules yet. We're still flying as normal. But I did get a notice today that flights will be canceled on a flight-by-flight basis depending upon loads and crew availability. And now that we're having, Chicago Midway's tower is down, Las Vegas's tower is down, that's just creating a whole lot of issues. I know that today, both of our nonstop flights to Vegas are canceled already. Yesterday, we had one nonstop to Vegas go out because they were essentially throttling the traffic. I think they were to like 7 flights an hour is what they could handle in Vegas. So the only flight I know of that's been canceled today is Vegas, and that's because I purposely looked it up, because it's our last scheduled flight of the night is Denver and Vegas. So I know that Vegas flight is canceled, but I will be able to find out more once I get in to work. So I'm driving to the airport right now, and it's a Friday afternoon, and under normal circumstances, so we live about 2 miles from the airport, and under normal circumstances, it takes me like 20 minutes to get to the airport, to drive 2 miles. And there is no traffic on the road right now. I am not having any problems whatsoever getting onto the freeway, getting over to the airport. So, which is actually a good sign, because that means people are heeding warnings. They are working from home. So that's good. And I'm hoping the people who are traveling, they have to travel for a specific reason. I feel like a couple weeks ago, when all of this was going on, everyone, you've seen all the memes going around about, $50 flights to Cancun and whatever. And it was all fun and games at that point, because there were a lot of people who were still taking advantage of traveling. And I was kind of one of those people, like, live your life, don't let this stop you. But, a lot has changed, and I'm definitely no longer one of those people. I'm like, look, if you don't need to be out, stay home. The airports have been super empty. On a Friday afternoon, normally we would just be slammed all day. I'm working the ticket counter all day today, and then I think I close out the last 2 flights in the back at the gates. And normally it would just be a non-stop check-in process, but the past couple nights have not been that way, and I have a feeling tonight's not going to be that way either. So, but I am thankful that I do have a job to go to. Austin is a very big industry city. It's a very big gig city. And there's unfortunately a lot of people right now who don't have the luxury of going to work and collecting a paycheck. And I feel terrible about that. And I'm trying to support any way I can. There's still a ton of restaurants that are open for takeout and a lot open for delivery. So I know me and my family are trying to support other people the best that we can. But yeah, hopefully there's a lot more resources opening up for people who are affected. But I'm just not getting to the airport property, so it's time to start this day and get it over with. It's definitely been a slow day today. I think our busiest flight tonight is the Denver flight. I've been checking in a decent amount of people for that flight. I know our last Dallas flight of the night has 0 people on it, but the plane's still gonna go because that plane needs to be there to open up Dallas tomorrow morning. Overall, it's just been pretty empty. The roads leading up to the airport, empty. We have a few passengers, here and there coming up. Like I said, I've been checking in a lot of Denver passengers. I'm working the last flight tonight out of one of our gates. Actually, it's the Denver flight I'm working. I'm working that Denver flight out of gate 17 here in Austin. So, yeah, that's how the day's been. Kind of slow. I'm sure it's like that for everyone in the airports. Well, my shift is done. I am ready to go home. I didn't work too terribly long today, but when it's as slow as it is, time just goes by so slow. When it's busy, I don't care how long I'm at work because time just flies by, but man, it is slow out there. I mean, overall, it was a good day. We had okay loads, I guess. I mean, I don't think I had a flight that had over 50 people on it. So I say okay load for the sole purpose of what's going on. So overall, it was a good day. I mean, we had super light loads. I think our loads were less today than they were yesterday. The last flight that I worked had 14 people on it. And the inbound flight had 15 people on it. So we were able to turn that aircraft around in a matter of minutes. So that's good. Let's see. I think our biggest obstacle of the day was waiting for incoming crew from one aircraft needing to get to the next aircraft to continue on their trip. That kind of was a little dicey today, but I mean, other than that, it went smoothly at least. That's all you can do. So I'm ready to get home, get out of this uniform, and just chill, decompress, and do it all over again tomorrow. Alright guys, so today is March 26th, and I began filming this vlog on March 1st. And within those 25 days, so much with not just our industry, but within the world has changed. I know that on March 1st, I was still talking about how busy it was going to be for South by Southwest and spring break, and
Canceled.
Man, was that not the case?
Canceled.
Yeah.
Every big event is being canceled. It was just announced that the Olympics are not going to be held this year. We're going to postpone it until next year, as of now. So there's a lot of big events around the country that are being canceled, and they're letting us know that they don't want bigger groups than 8 people, and then Europe just announced 2 people, so pretty much this would be banned.
Yeah.
Any more than this.
So, and if you're in the airline industry, you know how slow it's been. But on the reverse side, I'm kind of glad that in this time it is as slow as it is, because that means people are heeding the warnings and they're staying home. And yes, while I have to be at work to get those passengers who absolutely need to travel on their way, if you are doing elective traveling, you are staying home and not putting others at risk. Therefore, I am not putting other people at risk.
Yes, these are scary times, and we don't know what the future holds. So last month, working, all our planes were full or pretty close to full. We are working hard. My last trip, there was fewer people, and there was probably, I think we had one flight that had 50 passengers, but the majority of the flights were in between the 10 and 20 range.
So thankfully, a lot of the large US carriers are taking the effect of furlough as a final last step option. And unfortunately, there's a lot of flight attendants around the world who do not have that luxury. I know WestJet just laid off thousands of employees. A lot of airlines.
6,900 was the number. And then there's
crazy.
some regional, and there's some other airlines that are going out of business.
Yeah.
I know that our airline is good financially, but we still have to stay on top of it. We're getting updates daily, you know, on our company emails and on my iPad for work. Everything's changing, and it's just something that I know that my work group doesn't like to hear change, but unfortunately it's the sign of the times, and we're just gonna have to adapt. Travis being a newer employee, we've already talked about the what ifs, just in case he was furloughed. We do have a savings account. We will be okay.
So like he said, our company is giving different kind of options for the people who have to take time off or who want to take time off and just don't want to be in the airports, which is great because there will be a lot of people who take advantage of that, and every little bit helps keep our industry afloat. So Ryan, if you'll notice in our next vlog that we put out, was getting prepared for some upcoming surgery. And at the last second, unfortunately, it was canceled, as a lot of other elective surgeries have been canceled.
So the surgery center is actually owned by the doctors. So it's a private facility, meaning they were never going to see any COVID-19 like emergency cases. But they did donate some of their supplies to the hospitals that are, because we're in a dire need for masks all around the country, and also ventilators. So I do believe that that is the reason why it was canceled. We're on standby. We're the #1 on the list. So once they start operating again, then I'll be the first called to set up the date. It is foot surgery. I did have a surgery last year, and yeah, so we have to go back in. The fusion didn't take, so I have a bone that is split open.
So he's gonna be out for about 8 weeks, 5 weeks in a cast, 3 weeks in a boot. So he won't be flying for about 2.5 months. But we are going to keep the content coming. We're going to vlog the recovery process for him. You're gonna come to work with me a little bit more. We wanna still be able to keep content out, because in these times where people are tucked away in their homes, I can only watch so much Netflix, and we have watched a ton of Netflix, but we've also been binge watching a lot of vlogs, and people are still keeping content out, even if it's just kind of documenting your quarantined life.
It'll be neat to go to work with you and get the ground operations side of things. I'm going to miss flying. I'm going to miss vlogging on my overnights. We're going to be spending some time getting our future trips all planned out on my downtime, because I'll have plenty of time to do stuff.
But that's a really good idea, even for everyone. Just start planning a trip, because at least it gives you something to look forward to once all of this is behind us. We just wanted to kind of come on, and I mean, everyone's in this together. We will fly again, and that's one thing I've been telling everyone who is down or who unfortunately has been furloughed, as we will all fly again. This will be behind us.
I will say this. Our planes have never been so clean with everybody that is wiping down our planes. So thank you if you're one of those passengers. Also, the thanks. Everybody's saying thank you when they're getting off the aircraft and genuinely mean it.
But guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please go and hit that subscribe button. It really does help us out. We're wanting to grow our channel. If you are not new here, thank you so much for coming back. Go ahead and turn on those notifications so you can be notified every time we put out a new video.
Also, please stay safe, stay healthy, take your vitamins, make sure you drink plenty of water.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. I mean, they need to be raw. Mine are, and I'm gonna go put some lotion on them. But definitely make sure you're washing your hands. I made him take off his uniform and put it right in the washing machine. I am gonna be flying on Saturday, and y'all will come along with me, and maybe next week have a trip before we have our surgery.
So we'll probably have another vlog out about this time next week, so we'll see you then.